Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about a brand new show that I'm doing called Desert Island Display. You know, sometimes on the radio they have what they call Desert Island discs. They ask a celebrity, hey, what 5 music tracks would you have if you were stranded on a desert island? Well, I'm doing this with something that's far more important. Action figure collectibles. So every episode I'm going to have on another YouTube creator, someone who is someone within the action figure field. We're going to come on, we're going to talk shop, and I'm going to ask them, what 5 items from your display, from your own personal collection, would you have with you if you were stranded on a desert island? So this is going to be a really fun way of seeing what the actual prime cuts are of some of your favorite creators' collections. So first up on the show, we're going to have Kyle Peterson, one of my favorite producers, who specializes in what is actually closest to my heart, possibly more so than action figures, pro wrestling. And Kyle's pro wrestling collection, holy moly, it's a thing of beauty. But it's not just pro wrestling figures he's going to have in his Desert Island display. Want to hear about it? Here it goes. So welcome to the show, Kyle. Kyle, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Dude, I've been a fan of your channel for a long time because I'm a big pro wrestling fan. So like you're kind of, for me, the go-to guy for that. But you dabble in kind of a little bit of everything, don't you?
I'm a serial dabbler. I dabble in it all.
That's it. Well, that's the best thing to do, you know. Then you can just get the best of everything. But is it safe to say that pro wrestling figures are your kind of your A-list, your bread and butter?
I think that's what most people view me as, a wrestling connoisseur out there. But it's funny, is like wrestling, I love wrestling, but my favorite line of all time is G.I. Joe. It's funny how that goes. But
oh, interesting. So is this going back to like original 80s G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I've collected it all throughout the years, back to the 80s. I mean, I've collected about every property there is, but the Joes were the most special one to me as a kid, and then pro wrestling figures as well. But the G.I. Joes, I mean,
it's safe to assume that you're a backer of the Hiss Tank.
Oh yeah, I'm 3 in right now.
My man. And I assume those are all for keepsies. This isn't any kind of yeah.
I'm gonna have 2 open, and then I'll probably keep 1 in the package with the carded ones in the package as well. So
that's it. I'm playing a dangerous game because I've got to kind of like curtail my spending a little bit, and I'm more of a Marvel Legends guy, so hopefully that Ghost Rider HasLab, whatever it may be, we're pretty sure, but hopefully it's going to deliver, because that's where I'm. It really is, because I mean we're kind of like, it's the Hell Charger. That's kind of like it's a given. But what are the figures going to be? What are the tiers? I'm very excited for that. But that is the future, my friend. In the present, I've got some real bad news. Unfortunately, you were in a plane, you were flying over the sea, you were doing some business, stuff was going down. I haven't really thought up a backstory, but trust me. What happened was you crashed on a desert island. I know, no sign of rescue. You're on your own. It's Swiss Family Robinson style. But luckily, you had your 5 favorite collectibles to create your own desert island display. So Kyle, tell me, in this tragic scenario, we're going to make the best of what we got. What is the first item on your desert island display?
It's amazing how I survived the crash. Everything survives. The 5 figures survive, but no food, no clothing, no luggage. It's crazy how that worked out. But
YouTubers, we're a different breed. We're tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm sure anybody doing this list, especially if you have a large collection, it's pretty tough to pick. You got sentimental favorites, you got value favorites, and I was even thinking like, well, what could help me live on the island? Do I have a figure that could help me maybe get rescued? I don't know. But I just went and I said, okay, what is the ones that mean the most to me, but also value-wise is the other big thing. That's what I figured. If I'm in this issue, that's what I'm going to do. So
it's a consideration. You know, you might have someone come to pick you up and they're like, well, what's in it for me? You'd be like, boom.
Oh, here's what I got. Look what I got right here. Look what I got right here. So, okay, you want me to start with the first one?
Absolutely, man. What have you got for me?
All right, we're going to go first, and we talked wrestling, and this actually came out more. It's funny, I said how much I love G.I. Joe, but this is all wrestling, except for one, so.
Well, to be honest, you're talking my language, because I don't get to talk enough wrestling, so I'm in a hog heaven here.
There you go. So now, it's kind of a 2-for-1, and I brought both of these here just to have, but it's the Legends Series 8 Ultimate Warrior. Now, Ultimate Warrior, childhood favorite to this day for me, means a ton for me. I've talked about this figure on my channel a million times. I mean, it's just was such a special moment when he went back into the WWE's good graces, went into the Hall of Fame, gave that powerful speech, and then literally died the next day. I mean,
crazy.
Still gives me the chills just even talking about it after all these years. But so a special figure. I mean, it's the last memory of the Ultimate Warrior right here in action figure form. So very, very cool. This was a Target exclusive a couple of years ago. Value-wise, this isn't worth a ton. You could probably get this for like $30 American or something like that. But the special one for me was I got offered on this, and it goes along with this, but it's the hand-painted prototype of this figure.
Shut up. Yeah, that's the hand-painted prototype. Man, there's got to be a story behind how you got your hands on this.
Well, obviously, I get a lot of people that are reaching out, especially in the wrestling figure world, saying, hey, I got this. And a lot of the time it's stuff that hasn't even came out or even known yet. Well, I'm not going to buy something like that because guess what? It's going to be on the store shelves in 3 months, and I'm not going to pay 4 times the amount. But something like this comes along, somebody offers you at a very, very reasonable price. I mean, me being the big Ultimate Warrior fan I am, I could not pass this up at all. So
that's stunning. So this is the prototype of what was then the other figure you showed.
Yeah, the body's the same and stuff, and this body's kind of a reused body and stuff, but the head is all hand painted and beautiful. So
that's amazing. Is that how much there is cloth goods on that?
Yeah. Soft goods, cloth goods, a suit underneath. Yep, very, very cool, very detailed figure. Just an amazing Ultimate Warrior figure. And it's not what you think of when you think of the Ultimate Warrior. You think of the face paint, the tassels. It's just totally different. That's part of the specialness to it. It's just totally different.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why Ultimate Warrior is just so toyetic, because he has I don't think there's any single pro wrestler who has as many distinct looks as the Ultimate Warrior.
Mixing up the face paint, mixing up the colors. I mean, there were so many ways to go. So ahead of its time. And then, of course, if you were a kid enjoying it during the time, I mean, that's everything you'd want to be is the Ultimate Warrior. The way he looks, I mean, it's just amazing. Larger than life.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm the same. I think we're probably a similar age demographic. Yeah. I first got into wrestling. WrestleMania 7 was my first ever pro wrestling that I saw. So him against Macho Man.
You saw him retire the Macho Man. I always say it, Ultimate Warrior, the best 2 years ever. Beat Hulk Hogan, ended Hulkamania at WrestleMania 6, retired the Macho Man at 7. Who else did that, huh?
I know. I mean, surely there were only greater things ahead after that. The career was only going to go up from there, right?
That's right.
But yeah, like you were saying, like you couldn't have written a more sort of tragic but poetic end to the man himself. And it is lovely that, pro wrestling is one of those things where sometimes you've got to separate the art from the artist. But you do have a lot of people saying that he did have like a good kind of come around and a bit of a redemption as a person. So this is actually a lovely figure to immortalize that.
Yes.
You can. I love displays that have like bookends.
Yeah.
So you can get. That reminds me, because we're getting a Dingo Warrior.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. That's a 2-in-1 too, so I got to get multiples of that one.
Oh, is it a 2-in-1? What's the deal with that?
It's got a different head. It's got a more Ultimate Warrior head, so you can have an early version of Ultimate Warrior or the Dingo Warrior with that one.
Oh, I know. I would insist on big Magnum PI Tash Dingo Warrior.
Yes. Whew. So weird, yeah.
It was a different time, man.
It was a different time. Mustache with face paint just seems so strange, but here we are.
Just looking in the mirror going, yeah, I'm pretty sure this works. All right, dude, that is a banger of a start. I absolutely dig that. So that's number 1. We got our first. We got 4 more Desert Island displays.
These are in no special order or anything like that, I guess. So they're just putting it out there. But I guess we just did Ultimate Warrior. We'll stick with the Ultimate Warrior theme, and we'll go Ultimate Warrior. Jakks Classic Superstars. Now, this is my favorite toy line of all time is the Jakks. I love G.I. Joe. I love a lot of stuff, but the specialness of the Classic Superstars line, I do a video every single Tuesday for over 2 years, deep diving into this entire line. Uniform packaging, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. But this is the 1 of 100 Toy Fair from the New York Toy Fair in 2004, exclusive Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, this is actually, obviously, I can only see a slightly blurry version. So I'm going to test myself, though. Is this 1996 era Warrior?
I don't know what exactly it is. It's that so they did use this. This is a repaint for this of the WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior is what this is versus Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know if it's got an official attire to it. I mean, it's not a lot different than the normal release, but the packaging and stuff like that, and the sticker and all that. But
still, the best part about any Ultimate Warrior figure is the color. It's bright. Yeah. It pops, and yeah, I guess actually timeline wise, he's wearing the heavyweight title, so yeah, that would have to be kind of a 1990 style Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
but that's a beautiful piece, and again, peak warrior, peak colorful warrior.
Peak colorful warrior for sure. Very, very cool. And yeah, 1 of 100, so pretty rare. And like I said, I love the classic superstars line. I think it's one of the unsung lines and what they did and brought me back into collecting. I was basically out of collecting, and then this line brought me back and inspired all the madness from there.
So when was this line coming out? What
2004. 2004, right in there.
Geez, man. So that's nearly 20 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That really blows my mind when I think about these things. Like I got some old 90s McFarlane figures the other day, and I looked at the sole of the foot. I was like, that's over 30 years old. That's so bonkers. But yeah, that's a lovely one there. What I'm going to do also when I edit this video, I'm going to get some splice pictures of the nice images so folks can see exactly what we're talking about here. So we got 2 Ultimate Warriors. So 2 spots are fully warriorified.
I tell you, I'm an Ultimate Warrior guy. I'm a warrior guy. That's what he's my favorite.
I'm a massive warrior mark too. Absolutely. And actually, before we move on, so what is is that your favorite era of warrior? Is like 1990, 1991? That's
it's probably the zenith for me. I mean, that was I still remember him beating Hogan. I remember the lead up to that. I remember just jumping out of my chair, and I always talk about all the kids at school, the old playground, as I always say. All my friends, there's no way Warrior could beat Hogan. There's no way. I was the only one out of like 15 friends that said, nope, Warrior's going to do it. Trust me, I'll see you guys Monday at school. And I went in there walking in like Vince McMahon, like I told you guys.
Swinging the air.
I did. I was just blowing everybody up, saying, I told everybody. So I was a big Warrior guy from the get-go.
Man, I was lucky enough to go to SummerSlam '92, which funnily enough, if you ask any wrestling fan in the UK, Wembley Stadium must have had a capacity of about 500,000, because I'm pretty sure every wrestling fan was like, oh yeah, I went to SummerSlam '92. Did you, pal?
Yeah,
Did you
exactly.
really? I'm pretty sure you weren't born at that time. But yeah, Warrior was so over. Like in the UK, we adored Warrior, and I'm one of the few people who actually thought that his singlets that he wore were actually some of those were pretty cool. The '92 one, SummerSlam '92, looked wicked with like the muscles ripped away and stuff. That was awesome.
I like anything Warrior. I'm just an apologist for Warrior, but I like it all. It's not my favorite, but I like it. I still got figures of it. I'm all in on it.
Awesome. So, dude, what is your next Desert Island figure?
All right, we'll break up the wrestling talk here, and this is probably the rarest figure I own in my collection. And we go to Masters of the Universe with this one. We go to Masters of the Universe Classics, Spirit of King Grayskull, 1 of 31. There's only 31 of these in the world.
Dude, you're showing me stuff I've not seen before. This
was raffled off for like a charity cancer auction, and then there was 29, and then one was given as just like a giveaway. I think it was maybe San Diego Comic-Con. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then there was 29 of these given to top executives at Mattel. And that was it. So there was no more. There was nothing very, very hard to get of. They did come out with a kind of a different frosted glow-in-the-dark version of this remade, and then a normal skin tone one remade in the Masters Universe Classics line. But this is the only one right here. And it's probably the rarest figure I own.
Man, I dig that so much. For me, anything translucent I'm gonna be like, oh, it's so pretty.
Yes.
So I'm not a big Masters of the Universe, like my knowledge isn't great. So what character is this? Who is this?
Spirit of King Grayskull. So the Masters of the Universe Classics line took from all different aspects and some of the other stuff and brought new characters in, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's what not a lot of people know about. King Grayskull was in the new Netflix series. He got a lot of controversy because they changed his skin color and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of the original one, I guess you'd call it. But yeah,
That
it's very, very
actually,
cool.
yeah, that looks like something that like Indiana Jones would find in a temple, in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, put it in there.
That is, and is it translucent or is that just the
Yeah.
paintwork on?
Yeah,
It
you
is
can see it's translucent. Yeah, it's quite the piece for sure. And the Masters Universe, you know, I'm a kid of the '80s, and that was my first toy line I started collecting as a little kid. Was Masters of the Universe, and I think that started a lot of people of my age collecting things, and it was a big deal. And of course, absolutely loved it. Masters Universe Classics line came out when I was in college, and obviously, college kid, you have no money, so I got it. I watched that line from afar. I didn't get in. I didn't have the money, and then all these years later, I went back and got the entire collection. So it's kind of just full circle.
Yeah,
moment a little
no,
bit.
that's a really lovely piece. What's your favorite version of Masters of the Universe? There's so many different cartoons, series, seasons.
It's really weird too, because as a kid, I loved the original cartoon. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. But a lot of 80s cartoons hold up for me. I can still watch G.I. Joe anytime. Anytime I can watch G.I. Joe and never skip a beat. But sometimes watching He-Man from the 80s is a little bit of a pain. It feels like a little bit of a chore. It doesn't hold up quite as good. And I think it's one of those things that your memory tells you it was better than it actually was.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what
we've been there. We've all been there with various bits of media.
Yeah. And then the 2000 series, I didn't like it all. I didn't like kind of the anime style and stuff when it first came out. And then it's funny, though, all these years later, 5 years ago or whatever, I went back and watched it all, and I liked it a heck of a lot more. It's almost like the total opposite. Didn't like it when it came out, liked it down the road. And I definitely loved the new Netflix style of the universe and stuff. I mean, there was some stuff people didn't like. I get it. People like what they like, but I'm just happy to have Masters of the Universe instead of no Masters of the Universe. So
yeah, that's it. I'm a big fan of the Netflix one. I
love the animation. I love that they brought a ton of characters into it. I mean, there were some things like any show we watch. I don't care if it's a Marvel show or whatever. There's always stuff you like and stuff you don't like from it most of the time. Nothing's rarely ever perfect. So I liked it. I'm hoping the second season is even better with Hordak and the rest of the guys invited in. So we'll see. That could end up being my favorite when all is said and done. I thought
it was really bold, a lot of the decisions they made. And because I'm not a huge Masters of the Universe guy, that means that A, like I wasn't too attached to previous versions of the characters, and B, like stuff that people would have been expecting took me by surprise. So like when they had the Hordak reveal at the end, I was like, oh, that's the dude with the thing. Like I know that guy. I popped for that.
And I think people that aren't diehards enjoyed it a lot more than the diehards. And that's the bad thing about diehards in any medium. You get too caught up in everything that you can't just simply enjoy it like you should. And I think that happens to a lot of people out there. And I think the other thing, you got to put your old business hat on. I mean, it is a business. All these places, they're not nonprofits. They're trying to turn a dollar. They're trying to see what sells in this day and age. And that's what they're doing. So you got to remember that as well.
That's it. And hopefully just going back to wrestling, I'm sure, you must be keeping your finger on the pulse. I'm getting back into WWE because obviously they're a business and they're going to be changing their business a little bit.
It's so funny. I've heard so many people reach out saying, now I'm going to start watching WWE again. They're just going to start all of a sudden. And that's great for their business for sure. And it'll be interesting. Can these new eyes be kept? That's always the story. Can people stick around? Will they watch multiple weeks all the way to pay-per-view, really like it and keep following? Or it'll be just kind of, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That's it. Time will tell. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. It's a good time to be a Masters of the Universe fan.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a little spirit.
That's beautiful. Okay, we're at the halfway point or just past it. What have we got for the number 4 slot?
We got 2 left. So this one, once again, we're going to Jack's Classic Superstars Wrestling again. This is Terry Funk. Now,
oh, nice.
Terry, it's very, very rare, especially back in this time. Now we're getting them from Jazzwares AEW, and of course we know the Jack's Jazzwares history, so that's where we see some of that. But Terry Funk, but this one I like so much. I just recently got a second one, Loose.
Oh, that's terrific.
So I got 2 of the 100 right here. So outside of this, there's 98 more in the world.
I'd say just 98 more to go.
I get every single one. I want to be a real completionist there. But dude, very cool.
And obviously, again, cloth goods on top with the shirt.
Yep.
I love it, man. That instantly adds like a little seal of quality, I find. Even if it looks a bit goofy sometimes, I'm like, no, different material. I
remember I just dread it. A lot of collectors don't know this day and age about these limited releases and things like that. I said, you didn't sweat it out back in the Jack's Wrestling days when it was a Toy Fair only. Not very many people that want these can go to Toy Fair, obviously. I was just a college student. I had no money. I wasn't going to New York, and I wasn't going to get to Toy Fair. And even if I could, would I be able to get this? And the other cool thing about this is actually came from Jeremy Padower's personal collection. Now, Jeremy is the CEO, or whatever you want to call him, at Jazzwares, and was the guy around Jack's Classic Superstars, and actually did Masters of the Universe 2000. And
okay, so there's some crossover there. Yeah,
there is. So he's one of the big wigs that a lot of people know, obviously, in the action figure game. And this actually came from his personal collection, because the majority of these are actually autographed, because he was at that Toy Fair signing these. So to get one non-autographed is extremely rare, and that's what this one is.
That's terrific. I cottoned on to Terry Funk as soon as I saw him, but I didn't even see him until he was Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah,
because in the UK we didn't have access to like anything else, so I had to suffer through the mid-90s WWF without anything else to go on.
Yeah, and that was tough. That was tough.
that was rough. So by the time I saw Terry Funk, he had already retired about 3 times, and then I'm like, who is this goober coming out with a stocking on his head and baby powder everywhere? Absolutely bonkers. I assume they must have a Chainsaw Charlie figure.
Funny you say that. It is coming very soon. A Mattel Elite is coming here in about maybe 3 months or so. So we do got 2.
Fantastic.
We got 2 of them in this line as well, of the Chainsaw Charlies. But
actually, do you know he has officially he has retired? Like has he had yeah, okay.
No, he's actually he's in a nursing home now. He's got dementia, is what they're saying.
Bless his heart. Oh gosh, I can't remember the last time I saw him on.
I actually, one of the greatest memories of my life. I'm a huge fan for a long time, and my buddy runs pro wrestling show for the Midwest. Is in charge of a big Hall of Fame show every year in Iowa, where I'm from. Terry Funk came in. I got to work with Terry Funk for the whole weekend, so I got to spend a whole weekend with Terry Funk and Mick Foley. Wow. And I actually had a pizza. Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and I at a pizza restaurant eating pizza. Just the 3 of us. I mean, it was such a weird moment, looking like, can't believe I'm sitting here eating pizza with these guys.
That's one of those surreal things, isn't it? And it's so nice when you can meet your heroes and they're actually like, oh, you're actually really nice guys.
Yeah, and I spent the whole weekend. I was kind of Terry's handler for the whole weekend. I was helping him, sell his stuff and sit at the tables with him. So I got to spend a whole weekend with my idol. So, I mean, what a memory.
That's just wrestling fanboy dream come true. Yep. right there. And actually that just that reminds me, is tonight Ric Flair's last match as well?
I'm all in on that. I'm getting that tonight. A lot of people are against it. Rick shouldn't wrestle. He's 73, all this kind of stuff. I say, who cares? If he wants to do it, let him do it. He's not hurting anybody but maybe himself. But if he wants to do it, do it. That's
it. I mean, I honestly, I don't want to sound like morbid or anything, but it's up to him. Yeah. And if anything happens to Rick in the ring, do you think he would actually be upset by that? It's like Ric Flair going out doing what he wants to do. Like
he keeps saying in these interviews, he hopes he dies. If he dies, he'd love to die in the ring. I mean, that's what he said. So I mean, it's kind of like Lemmy, Motorhead Lemmy. He always said, hey, I'll die on stage. I'm cool with that. I'm a huge Motorhead fan, so I saw him right at the very end a million times. But.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely, I double thumbs up to Ric Flair. You are, in that regard, you are living your best life. More power to you. And the rest of the card looks good as well. It's a great looking lineup.
Yep. And Rick, everybody says it's for the money. He doesn't need the money anymore. That Cameo business, I mean, he's getting millions of dollars from Cameo, just sitting on his phone doing a 30-second, video. So
that's it. Yeah, the dude's making bank. More power to him. Enjoy your non-returement. I think that's.
Will he be back at 80? I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see.
Time will tell. All right, dude, we're 4 in. What is the final item for the Desert Island display?
All right, this one went for nostalgia reasons, and gosh, you see a theme in my stuff. We're going back to the Ultimate Warrior. We're going back to the LJN Ultimate Warrior. Right here.
I've never even seen this.
So this is one of the Grail wrestling pieces. I mean, it's not worth as much as some of these other ones. If this is mint on card, I mean, this is probably a $10,000 figure mint on card. But this was my childhood right here. I remember distinctly getting this back in the day for my birthday and just being so jazzed. And when you're a kid and you're a player, it was just a magical, magical time. He immediately joined into my Fig Fed, immediately won the world title from everybody, ran roughshod forever. I mean, absolutely a game changer action figure for me in my life. I mean, this just was the first Ultimate Warrior figure ever made. This was at the dying end of the LJN style. It was actually Grand Toys, a company that took over the license. So a lot of people didn't even know this existed. Only reason I did was because I buy the wrestling magazines at my grocery store, and they would sell them in the back of that, and that's how I ended up getting this. But when it sums up my 80s and my love of all things really action figures, I mean, I point to this thing right here, this Ultimate Warrior from back in the day.
So when did you manage to acquire this? Was it, did you have a huge collection before you managed to get your hands on this?
So this isn't my childhood one. My childhood one, I sold off, but I kept my childhood toys immaculate. You know, you come over, you'd have buddies want to play with your toys. You'd see them banging stuff together, like, oh, let's not play toys, guys. Let's just do something else. But I got this a few years back. This is a minty one, because a lot of these from the 80s, obviously these rubber ones with paint on, the rubber gets knocked off, it gets beat. They're made to be played with, so it's hard to find minty mint ones. So I tracked this down a while back, but just absolutely fabulous. But yeah, I had all the LJN stuff when I was a kid. I was all in. You know, my dad says I was the best kid ever, because I knew, hey, if I was good, I would get a toy every Friday night when we'd go out to eat and go grocery shopping, all that stuff. So I was a great kid. My dad will tell you. He comes on the channel and talks about it from time to time. But yeah, I had all the LJNs for the most part when I was a kid.
Does that articulate, or is it? Do the arms move or anything? It's solid. Static.
A lot of people just call them old. Oh, those are old dog toys. You know, it's funny. Like on my channel, I do a lot of top 5 lists, like top 5 Ultimate Warriors of all time, things like that. And people are like, oh, how could you like this more than a Mattel current day? I said, well, it's not just about articulation. It's about nostalgia. It's about how does it make you feel? It's about where you were and things like that. And yeah, this doesn't have all the bells and whistles of modern articulation, but it's funny what a child's imagination can do when they're playing with this as a little kid. And
absolutely, man. Because yeah, I see that, and it's just instant, like 1980s, bam, like that. It's like a little time capsule.
It is
of that era. That's absolutely terrific. So that, would you say that is actually like your number one figure? That
probably is.
That probably just by definition of a process of elimination.
It probably, my other big one, the other big one I have, and I wouldn't take it on the desert island, I don't think, but is the USS Flag G.I. Joe aircraft carrier from the 80s. That is the only G.I. Joe toy I kept from my childhood. It's 7 feet long. I mean, it's massive.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, look it up. It's the holy grail of G.I. Joe. I mean, I've told a long story on my channel about it, about a Christmas memory. And my dad played quite the joke on me, but I mean, that's an amazing toy. I wish they could do that over. I mean, if they made it for G.I. Joe Classified, it would take up be big as a vehicle is what it would be. But yeah, amazing.
And it would sell as well. People would buy it. I know
$1,000 HasLab is what that would be. $4,000 HasLab probably.
Bring it on, man. I tell you what. Well, you missed a trick then. If you're on a desert island, an aircraft carrier, there you go.
There you go.
Sorted. I'll allow you a mystery 6th slot for that one.
There you go. Okay, that works for me.
That's absolutely terrific. Kyle, dude, this is the first time I've done this desert island idea, and I'm so glad I got to have you on the show to do this. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, very fun. Thanks for having me over.
And man, it goes without saying, but before you go, tell the folks where they can find you, what you do, who is this Kyle Peterson person?
Who is it? You can find me on YouTube like everybody else, I guess. Search Kyle Peterson in YouTube. I'll pop up. I always kind of joke. There's like 2 Kyle Petersons on YouTube. There's a survivalist expert that's like getting stung by bees and stuff like that. That's not me. I'm the action figure one. So Kyle Peterson, 1980, I think it is.
See how many subscribers the other Kyle Peterson has. Maybe we can just like get some bees on your channel.
He's got like 1 million subscribers.
dude, action figure reviews while getting stung by bees. That's it.
There you go.
I'm making it work.
But I'm on there, and then Twitter, SirPaul64, and Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And I do wrestling. I do G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, Super 7, He-Man, Thundercats. I mean, I'm pretty much a Renaissance man. I do it all over there.
That's wonderful. Well, man, now that we've like made some contact, I'm going to be hitting you up all the time and tapping your brain, and more to the point, probably sending you annoying messages like, "Oh, dude, did you see the match with so and so?" You'd be like, "Yes, I saw it, Dave." Dude,
perfect.
I'll sign off. Thank you so much, and take care. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
So guys, thank you so much for watching the first episode, the inaugural episode of Desert Island Display. Thank you so much, Kyle, for coming onto the show. This is one of the reasons I want to do this show, is because it gives me a chance to actually get to know personally some of the people who I've been watching for such a long time. Kyle, such a good brother, such a pleasure to get the chance to talk to you finally. Guys, if you enjoyed this show, if you like this format, comment below, let me know. Let me know who else you would like to see on Desert Island Display, and I'll reach out and see if I can drag them down to my level. So guys, thanks very much for watching. Thank you so much, Kyle, for being on the show, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Did you enjoy this episode, my child? Well, wait a minute. Ah, that's better. Did you enjoy this episode, my child? Well, if you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. But if you want to really support the channel, then you can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior and toss a couple of bucks Dave's way. Or you can join the YouTube channel member section, where you can enjoy all the same videos and have nice little icons next to your name when he does live streams. Yes, lovely. Or, on top of that, if you want more model behavior, you can join one of Dave's 2 other channels. There is Displaying Miscellaneous Behavior, where he just rants about stuff, and also Model Behavior Wrestling, for all your wrestling needs, I guess. All right, go do that. Bye. Yeah. Cup of coffee.